So some questions here. Let's go into this easy one, LinkedIn data science skills. Start a timer. Okay, given a table of candidates and their skills, your task would find the candidates. All right, you want to find candidates who are proficient in Python, Tableau, and PostgreSQL. Write a query to list the candidates who possess all the skills required for the job, so the output by candidate ID in ascending order. Okay, this one I gotta remember. Usually forget these, but we'll be reminded. There are no duplicates in the candidates table. We just have a single candidates table. It's good. So don't require any joins. Okay. Possess all the skills required. All right. It's on a skill base, like that's the granularity of the table, right? We see. So candidate ID is repeated based on each of the skills. There's a new row. Should be pretty straightforward. We're gonna do first we need to filter, right? So we're gonna do candidates. Actually, we don't even, let's see. I think we don't even need to group by. We just do a distinct. Let's try this route. Distinct candidate ID. No, we are gonna do group by actually. Yeah, let's do this. How do we do this easily? Filter. Yeah. Okay. Select star from candidates where. That's what we're gonna do. Where skill equals Python, or skill equals. Now let's do this skill in. Let's say Python. We want to say Tableau and PostgreSQL. This is our first step, right? Let's run this. Run the code. It should execute. Cool. All right. So first, just like CT, so I'm going to wrap in a CT. So T1S. Let's organize this. And then essentially what we're going to do is, all right, we're going to do a select. You could have probably done it in the same one, but it's fine. Select candidates, or no, candidate ID. And then we're going to say from D1 group by candidate ID, and we're going to say having count of skill. There are no duplicates, so we can just do count of skill is greater than or equal to 3. That's assuming that they have more skills than necessary. Let's try this. Awesome, and it works. Probably could have done it in a single one. Yeah, like let's try to write that. So basically, if I take this and I don't think I need this. So I could do a group by candidate ID, right? And then I just do select candidate ID from here. I think this might work as well. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yep, it's a bit simplified. I do like to think through these problems, kind of like step by step, and building like the tables that I'm going to use for my final product. It usually helps for like more complicated questions all the time. But in this case, we can get away with just doing this, right? So let's go to another question. Let's do another easy Facebook one. All right, Facebook question, easy difficulty, page with no likes. Assume you're given two tables containing data about Facebook pages and their respective likes. Cool. Write a query to return the IDs of the pages that have 0 likes. The output should be sorted in ascending order based on the page IDs. Cool. Ascending order based on page IDs. Let's see if we remember that. We have pages table and we have pages likes table. And we want the IDs of the pages. All right. Do we need a join? The expected output is just the page ID. We do have page ID in the page likes table, and we need the number of likes. I don't think we need page name, so I don't think we even need to join here. It makes things a little bit easier for us. Cool. So what are we going to do? We are going to, I think it's another aggregate situation, right? No. No. So since they don't have any likes, right, they won't appear in the page likes table. So that's the trick here. We need to, that's why we need to join. The first thing I think of here is we can solve with like the not in operator. That should be pretty straightforward. Again, I'm going to write a CTE essentially here. Select, here we can do select distinct page ID from page likes, right? Not even a CTE, we just do a subquery. So we're going to do select, again, page ID. Assuming there's no duplicates in pages table, we'll see, from pages where page ID not in, and then we do this. Just copy this from here, and then here. I think this should work. We did say we wanted sorted somehow, sorted in ascending order, so we're going to say order by page ID. The default is ascending. We submit. It doesn't match. Okay. Ascending. Maybe it is a string, so that's why. Okay. Does it say anything here regarding that? Interesting. Maybe I didn't catch something here. It does say ascending order based on the page IDs. Maybe it's not an integer when we do ascending. Yeah, that's not ascending. So it might be a problem with the question. Sadly, I forgot to turn on the timer. Well, that's fine. Cool. Solve this one. Let's move on to the next one. Unfinished parts. Let's do Tesla, easy question. All right. Start the timer. Tesla is investigating production bottlenecks. They need your help. Write a query to determine which parts have begun the assembly process but are not finished. Okay. Assumptions. Parts assembly table contains parts currently in production at various stages. An unfinished part is one that lacks a finished state. So a finished state is probably null, not existent. Okay. Okay, this question is straightforward, so let's approach it with simplicity in both thinking and solution. Simple. Okay. Single table, and we want is parts All right. It seems like it's not like a group by situation. The parts, there's no like part ID or anything. It seems like it's just we want to filter records where the finish date is null, essentially. I do want to see what it looks like, so I'm gonna run it. Right, so it is null, right? That makes things easier for us. It's not like an empty string, right? Or something like that. It is a timestamp or a date time, I guess. Yeah, I guess the schema here tells us. What we're gonna do is just select part and assembly step from, right? Finish date is null. Run this. Assembly. Okay. All right. It's like engine is also null. Let's run it. Okay, that's it. There's no ordering or anything. It's pretty straightforward. Like I did say, it's a straightforward question. So let's approach it with simplicity. All right. New York Times. Laptop versus mobile viewership. Easy question. See how easy it is. Assume you're given a table on user viewership categorized by device type, and there are 3 device categories. Our algorithm calculates the total viewership for laptops and mobile devices, where mobile is defined as the sum of tablet and phone viewership. Okay. Output total viewership as this and this. Cool. We have a single table, viewership table, user ID, device type. It's just 3 types, and then the view time. There's no time constraints here. We want the total, right? There's no like, views in this time period, nothing like that. So we want the total viewership. Not per user. It's just essentially count of records. It looks like the granularity here. I mean, in the example, we see single users. I'm not going to overcomplicate the question. It's just an easy question. I'll keep it straightforward. We basically want the records, the count of records per type. Right? Let's start coding. Not waste time. Okay. I'm thinking a case statement here. That's the first thing that comes to mind. Right. Yeah, like we can just wrap this in a CT. So like we can do like this, and then we call this the case when device type equals laptop. Let's do device type equals phone, or device type equals tablet. Then we're going to return, then we're going to say mobile, right? Else, we're just going to say laptop. Right? We're going to end this, and then we're going to call this as, let's call it category. Cool. So if we run this, case one device, when, I always Postgres SQL doesn't like double quotes, just a Python thing, kind of muscle memory, so I always have this issue. Trying to get used to this. There we go. So now we got our classification, right? It's pretty straightforward. We're just going to do another CTE, T1 as this, basically wrapping this as our first table, and then we're just going to, oh wait. See, okay. This is where it's important to look at the example output. because here I was already grouping in the wrong way. I want it as columns, right? So I don't want it like this. You can turn this around. It's still going to be a case statement. What I'm going to do is, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to basically do it with a sum. So when is this? I'm going to do this. Else is 0. And then we're going to call this as mobile views, right? We don't need this. Oh my god, here we go. Used to bin motions, so it's hard. All right, so we got our mobile views. I'm just gonna do this, paste it here. Right, now we gotta wrap this in a sum because we're basically saying when it's phone, when it's tablet, then 1, else it's 0. We gotta sum all of these cases, right? And then similar here, it just gotta flip it. So 0, then 1, and this is laptop views. And same thing here. We are summing all these cases. Up, let's run it. Laptop views, mobile views, 2, 3, this should work. All right, cool. Important, we learn here. Look at the granularity of the example output. Want to make sure that you're answering the question that they're asking. This has happened to me in many interviews before, where I get ahead of myself, I think that I'm answering the right thing, and I start answering something that's completely different than what the question is answering. Not completely different, but at least in a different granularity. So that's not what the question is asking. We have to do a quick switch. All right. Facebook average post hiatus part 1. Ominous. What's going to be part 2? All right. Given the table of Facebook posts for each user who posted at least twice in 2021. Write a query to find the number of days between each user's first post of the year and the last post of the year in 2021. Output the user and the number of days between. Cool. All right. Post table. We just have the post table. All right. We want to see users that posted at least twice in 2021. We could do kind of similar to what we did before, just like a having clause with a group by, an account with a filter that would filter down our users. However, like from there, we want the max, we want the minimum, and then the time difference. I think this should work. All right, let's test it out. So do this variety wise. I'm gonna go this method. So I'm gonna do select star, post, where user ID in, and then from here I'm just gonna do select user ID from posts where post date, right? We want only 2021. Let's say between 01, 2021. I don't think I use, between, I don't think we use the parentheses. and then 12, 31, 21. It's my last day. Let's see if this executes, just to be sure. Cool, it does work. Just a little bit, I didn't start the timer. Thoughtful of this. Okay, cool. So these are all the posts that happened in 2021. However, I want to group by user ID. And I'm going to say having count of post ID, it's greater than 2, right? Greater or equal to, because it's at least 2 times. All right, which is good. All right, let's run this. Cool. I think this should work. So now we're gonna do same here, same thing here, user ID. But we are gonna do, let's see, max days in between, just do max events min. So max post date. Can we do this? I'm not 100% sure. Let's try, just to make it in a single one, right? And we're gonna do group by posts. No. Oh, sorry. Group by user ID, not post. The table is post. All right. Cool. What we get is the intervals. It's an interval object. From here, we want the days. It doesn't say anything about rounding, does it? So we're going to probably count only full days. What we can do is extract, I think, days from this, right? I think we can do this as days between. Can use the extract function. Nope. Okay. All right, yeah. Time differences. I did a problem like this recently. Extract date. It is an interval object. It should work. Okay. Let's do this. Because it's being finicky, let's see if it's something related to like maybe doing too many things at the same time, perhaps. Let's do this. Select user ID. And extract days from diff from T1. No. Is it because this? Yes. That's not the number. That's not the right number of days, is it? Was it? Let's run it. I don't think it is. Okay, it was the right number of days. All right, cool. Struct function is super useful when you're working with intervals, interval objects, or even dates. You can use the extract function, at least in PostgreSQL. I'm not sure about MySQL. I have to look that up. But it is useful. Just remember the syntax. It's a function, so you have to use parentheses with it. Sometimes I forget that clearly, like just now. But there we go. Cool. Let's see. Teams, power users. Oh Lord. All right, write a query to identify top 2 power users who sent the highest number of messages on Teams in August 2022. I'm going to filter by that date. Display the IDs of these 2 along with the total number of messages they sent. Output the results in descending order based on the count of messages. No 2 users have sent the same number of messages in August 2022. Cool. Why did they say that? Probably because if we want to use rank. Let's take a look. We can do this with a limit. We can do this with a rank. I'm going to try with a limit because it's just simpler. Okay. A single table, messages table. First thing we need to do is we need to filter, right? We need to filter by all the messages by the sent date. Sent date is we're going to use the between again, between operator. What's August? 08. August 2022, we're going to say 01, 2022, and I'm just going to 08, I think 31. About 31 days, I think so. Maybe not. Let's leave it at 31, just in case. We'll come back. Cool. So now it's filtered by August 2022. What we need to do here is essentially group by just group by sender ID, right? So we need sender ID, sender, and then we need the count. Let's say we can do distinct, but assuming there's no duplicates, but we'll do distinct just in case. Message ID, right? This gives us the count of messages per user in August. And we need to group by, right? Group by sender ID. Cool. That's pretty much it. We can just solve this by doing an order by, and in some languages you can just give this an alias and specify that name. In some other ones, I think Postgres as an example, you can't do that. In BigQuery, for example, if you assign an alias to this, you can't use it in the order by and even in the group by. In here, I don't think you can. We're going to say order by, we set descending. And then we're just going to do a limit 2 because we just wanted to. So if we do this, we get the 2, we submit, should match. That's it. So here we go. Why they say no users will send the same number of messages in August 2022 to make the question easier. So there's no use case where they're going to match. So you're not dealing with what do you call that? Like ties, right? So in cases where you do have ties, you would want to leverage the rank function because it will be able to handle those ties, right? Maybe we will have a use case later where we can take a look at that. All right. Duplicate job listings, come on. Here we go. All right, duplicate job listings. So this LinkedIn EC. Cool. Assume you're given a table containing job postings from various companies on LinkedIn. Write a query to retrieve the count of companies that have posted duplicate job listings. Cool. Duplicate job listings are defined as 2 listings within the same company that share identical titles and descriptions. So it's not based on job ID. If it were, it'd be too easy. All right, in this example, identical titles and descriptions. So I guess like this. What counts as a duplicate here? No, two different companies. This is same company, same title, same job description. Right? How are we going to do this? It's going to be some sort of, let's start this. It's going to be some sort of group by, right? Duplicate companies. Yeah, let's do this. We're going to company ID. We're going to group by title. And we're going to group by description. Right? And we're just going to do a count of job ID. This will give us to group by company ID, title, and description. Cool. Same. So this gives us the aggregate, and then anything that has a higher, count that 1. Then we know that it's going to be a duplicate, right? Having count or ID greater than 1. So these are all our duplicates. Cool. Now, the answer that we want is write a query to the count of companies that have posted. So now the count of duplicate postings, put the count of companies. Assuming that the same company would do more than one. I'm assuming that we will want to count them just once, but that's not what the question is asking. Let's just wrap this in a CTE, make it easier, and then we're going to say select distinct. No, actually, we're going to do count distinct company ID from T1. Actually, when I'm not 100% sure does this work? Yeah, it does work. As duplicate. We do have only one here. I wonder if, oh Lord. Okay, sign me out. LinkedIn, right? Yeah, duplicate job postings. Here we go. I'm signed in. Let's run it. It's 3. Let's run it. Take a look. Yeah, accept. Interesting. Okay. Okay. I think with that, I am going to call it for today. Several easy questions. We will do some higher difficulty ones later. Focus on SQL. I probably finish all these easy ones. But I think for now we're good. All right. Well, cool. Thanks for watching.